¿Qué pasó, pinche perro? It's your homeboy Quetzalcoatl. Welcome back to the Fuck Your Life Boxing Show. On today's episode, I'm going to be giving you my prediction for the upcoming fight between Terence Crawford and Viktor Postol. I'm going to talk about both fighters' attributes, discuss some of the recent fights, and then I'm going to be giving you my pick as to who's going to be taking this fight. So on the one hand, you've got Terence Crawford, who's 28 years old. He's listed at standing at 5 feet 8 inches. He's got a 70-inch reach, and he holds a record of 28 victories with no losses, and 20 of those victories coming by way of knockout. When I see Terence Crawford, I see the potential for greatness. He's a very gifted technical fighter. He's got impressive speed, solid defense, can effectively fight in both the orthodox and southpaw position, and in moments in the fight is actually willing to exchange and go toe-to-toe with his opponent, which is something rare to see from a technical fighter. In his last fight against Hank Lundy, Terence Crawford beat the shit out of Lundy. There was a lot of tension and words exchanged leading up to that fight, and it was Terence Crawford who backed his shit up. If there was any knock that I would have on Terence Crawford, is that he hasn't fought any top-level opposition yet. He's got names on his resume like Ricky Burns, Raimundo Beltran, dude I just mentioned, Hank Lundy, which are solid fighters, but they're not really anything to be bragging about. The biggest name that Terence Crawford does have on his resume is Yuriorkis Gamboa. And Gamboa is an A-level fighter, talented boxer. But Terence Crawford had a huge size and weight advantage going into that fight. You know, Gamboa's a little tiny-ass fucking midget. I don't know what 50 Cent was thinking when he made that fight. He was probably shermed out. And while Gamboa was at a disadvantage in height and weight, he was still able to rock Crawford a couple times in that fight. But you got to give props to Terence Crawford because he ended up finishing Gamboa in spectacular fashion. And Terence Crawford also wanted a fight with Manny Pacquiao after he beat Lundy. Unfortunately for Crawford, Manny Pacquiao ended up choosing Timothy Bradley. But in a fight versus Viktor Postol, which is a unification fight, he has a chance to show that potential greatness that I've been talking about, as he's going to fight a guy who's a full-fledged 140-pounder and somebody who's going to have a height and reach advantage against him. So now let's talk about Viktor Postol. Viktor Postol is 32 years old. He is listed as standing at 5 feet 11 inches. He has a 73.5-inch reach, and he holds a record of 28 victories with no losses, and 12 of those victories coming by way of knockout. Like Terence Crawford, Postol is a technical fighter. He's got good counterpunchability, got solid defense, and while his record would indicate that he's a light puncher, in his recent fights, he's shown that he can break down and stop tough opponents who have never been knocked out before. And you saw that against Selçuk Aydin. Again, Selçuk Aydin is not a top-level opponent, nothing to really be bragging about, but he is a tough boxer with a solid chin who had never been stopped before, and Viktor Postol did his ass dirty. In his last fight, which is the biggest victory of his career against Lucas Matisse, he snatched the heart and soul out of Lucas Matisse's body. I'm a fan of Lucas Matisse, so I don't know what the fuck happened to Matisse in that fight. But Postol beat the shit out of him. You gotta give him props for that. I thought Matisse was gonna win that fight. And Matisse better get his shit together, man, because if he doesn't, they're gonna send his ass back to Argentina and he's gonna be making brooms with fucking Baltimore. And this is gonna be a competitive fight. Both boxers are undefeated. They're both going in as champions. Both have been on the road lately. But my pick is I got Terence Crawford taking this. I think that Terence Crawford is the superior technical fighter, and he's going to use those abilities to outbox Postol. It's possible that he may end up stopping Postol, but most likely, I see Crawford winning a decision. The only way that I see Crawford running into problems and possibly losing this fight is if in like previous fights, he decides to try to exchange and go toe-to-toe with Postol. Because that's going to give Viktor Postol opportunities to counterpunch and possibly land something big and change the momentum in the fight. But if he sticks to the game plan of just strictly trying to outbox Viktor Postol, I got him taking this fight. Although I don't think Viktor Postol is going to make it easy for him. That's why I think it's going to be competitive. But who do you have winning this? Do you agree with me in that Terence Crawford is going to outbox Viktor Postol? Or do you think that Postol might end up pulling the upset? Because I think Crawford is the favorite going into this fight. Let me know in the comment section. And as always, if you like this shit, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is your homeboy Quetzalcoatl, signing the fuck on out.